Health. We're going to talk about your health today. Without health, it's really difficult to enjoy anything. I see many overweight and obese people in their late 20s, early 30s, and above. They can't hardly get up and down. Some of them have to park in the handicap spots because they can't hardly walk. They're so heavy. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. The reason I brought up this subject is because I saw an advertisement on Instagram for a lawsuit against Zantac. I think that's some type of indigestion medicine, I believe. But before we begin with this little tidbit, like and subscribe. Check out my books on Amazon, Coming Back Home, The True Adventure of Mark Daniels, and The Power is Within. And I didn't get to take my trip to Playa del Carmen because of, I won't even get into that. It was a previous video, I told you what happened, but I did go to the airport. I just never got on the plane. But that's a whole other video, which I made. Check it out. Okay, this Zantac is some indigestion medicine. I believe, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just another series of drugs the FDA approves and the big pharma puts out for some indigestion problem. Like I said, I could be wrong about that. For some problem, which possibly could be avoided, this problem, if you corrected your diet, your exercise, and your whole lifestyle as far as that goes. Too many times we rely upon doctors. We're programming people to get a health care provider. It used to be a doctor. Now, to care for your health, you have to have a provider, someone outside of yourself. Now, I'm not anti-doctor, and I don't believe that, you should never go to a doctor. I've been to the doctor many times. I've taken medications. I've had broken bones. I've had x-rays. I've had all that. But I see a trend, and many of you probably see it too, of them pushing, or I won't say pushing, let's say programming people to believe that they have to go to the doctor every time something's wrong with them. And this just isn't true. When you cut your finger, do you have to go to the doctor to get the doctor to make it heal? No, it heals up by itself. Now, if it's a big cut, you might have to tape it up or go get stitches. But it still heals itself. The doctor just helps the healing process. I mean, let's look at the last couple of years with this health situation that we had and the fear that was spread, and then the hypothetical solution that came about. And so many people were afraid, they were willing to do anything, willing to inject anything into their body, maybe not to stop the disease, or I don't want to say the word. It was the thing that happened the last couple of years. I'm not sure what I can say and what I can't say here about that. Don't want to get banned from YouTube, okay? But actually, people didn't run to get that to stop the disease. They ran to get it to stop the fear of getting the disease. The fear is what drove them. And the fear is what drives people to take these medicines, which if you look it up on the stats, I'm not sure what it is now, I checked a few years ago, but hundreds of thousands of people die every year because of the medicines that they're given by doctors through the pharmaceutical companies that are supposed to help them or heal them. Remember, medication most of the time just deals with the symptom. The problem is something else. The problem is usually from poor diet, poor thinking, poor diet, poor mental diet. What are you taking into your mind? During all that situation the last 2 or 3 years, I didn't watch the news. I didn't watch any of that stuff. I knew what I needed to know. I might have watched a little bit when it first started, so to find out what I needed to do, but after that, I quit watching it. But occasionally I would be at someone's house and they had the TV on, and it was a constant barrage, a constant fear, pushing to get that, how can I say it, that thing with the needle put into your arm. Yeah, that thing. And I'm not blaming anybody if they did that. Were my health poor, under different circumstances, I may have done that also. But now you're seeing some of the bad results of those choices and the fact that it didn't stop anything. Even some people got stuck with that needle 3 or 4 or 5 times. No, maybe not 5, 3 to 4 times. And they still come down with a disease. As far as I know, I never had it. Maybe I did. I never got tested. I had the normal sniffles and things like that. But back to the Zantac, through the years, and if you haven't been around as long as I have, I've seen time and time again where they've had a drug out on the market, and then years down the road, a drug that was approved by the FDA, then years down the road, here they got a lawsuit, they're taking it off the market because it's killing people. Now that's the ones they recognize. Think about all of the drugs that they never recognize, or they never correlate the death of the people from taking this drug, because sometimes it's very hard to tell. My father had several strokes, and after he passed away, we were throwing his medicines away, and he took a medicine called Relafin for arthritis, and it's notorious. They may have taken that off the market too. It's notorious for causing strokes, and he had several strokes. So with all medicine, there's side effects. So my message today is this: take care of yourself. It's very difficult to eat good food nowadays because everything is so processed. But do the best you can. Really cut back on that fast food, because I don't think there's much nutritional value in it whatsoever. Now they post the nutritional value, but really all they're posting is caloric content. How many calories are in it? Well, how many calories are in it has nothing to do with how good it is for you. It can be full of calories of fat, salt doesn't have calories, sugar. I mean, these things do not promote a healthy body. As I said, I know it's very difficult to eat healthy, and actually it's more expensive, and it's really hard to find quality food. I buy organic. Hopefully it's really organic. But a lot of times they say too, what you think about what you eat is just as important as what you eat. So at least if you try to buy better food and you believe it's better food, I think it will affect your body in a better way. That's just my opinion. They've done studies on that. I won't get into that right now, but you can check it out. They give people certain types of food, and they tell one person that this milkshake is a regular milkshake, and the other person that it's a protein shake, and their bodies actually react differently. They process each of the exact same shake differently because of what the person thought about what they were taking into their body. So that's kind of amazing, but that's a whole nother video also. But I'm not telling you not to take medications, but just be really careful and stop and look at yourself and say, how has this illness or disease or whatever it happens to be, how has this come upon me? What have I been doing for the last years or my whole life that could have brought this on? What could I stop doing, and what could I start doing to improve this situation? Now, of course, if you do that and you change your lifestyle, it's not going to be as quick as the pill usually, but the longevity of that choice and the results will be much greater than the one if you take the pill. So that's something to consider. Your health is very important. This is a house you live in. You've only got one house. Take care of it. Take better care of your house you live in than you do of your car. Most people take better care of their car than they do their body, because the car they had to work for. Our bodies are given to us for free. We really don't appreciate them and care for them as we should. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. Go out and take a walk, get a little exercise in the day. Do something good for yourself.